hope you guys are doing well and are having the most incredible day. As always, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, of course, we are diving into what we read in February. Now, I managed to read 10 books, which I feel relatively positive about. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, do I wish I read like 16 to 20 books? Absolutely. But your girl's really trying. Like, I'm really trying to up my reading speed, but honestly, I don't know what it was last month. I actually started 3 other books, which I never finished in the month of February. I don't know why. I mean, some of them I even got like 5 to 6 chapters in, and I was just like, I'm not obtaining the information. I'm gonna have to reread it. So I just took it off of my kind of currently reading pile, and I'm gonna start those again. But basically, long story short, I read 10 books, some of which absolute top tier godsend reads, and some of them just like average, not so great, kind of like mildly enjoyable reads. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, grab yourselves a tea, a coffee, a snack, all that kind of good stuff, and let's dive into the books I read in the month of February. I hope you guys enjoy and carry on watching. So the first book I picked up in the month of February was Once Smitten, Twice Shy by Chloe Leese. Now, can I find this book anywhere on my bookshelves? No, honestly, I have no idea where it's gone. There's a 3-book series by Chloe Leese in this room, and I cannot find it for the life of me. So I'm gonna obviously insert a photo. This one I gave a 3-star. Don't get me wrong, it was very cute. I loved the characters. Like, the MMC Will was very enjoyable, and some of the quotes he said like melted my heart. I will read you one in a minute because I just loved it so much that I have to share it with you. But I just gave it a 3-star because I felt like it just wasn't one of those books that I'm gonna itch to read again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a really beautiful story and I would highly recommend it. And it was an easy read, it was fun, it was flirty, it was a good like silly goofy time, but I just don't feel that like 4 or 5-star feeling. Do you know what I mean? But this one basically is about Juliet and Will, and they essentially meet in Scotland really randomly, neither of which are Scottish, by the way. They're just both randomly there, and then 7 months later it oddly turns out that Will is her neighbour's like best friend, and they essentially decide to like not fake date, but they're basically like helping each other date, if that makes any sense. You can see where it's gonna go. It's like fake dating to lovers kind of vibe, but honestly it was really sweet, really fun. All of Chloe's books I found do have that spice element, which is really enjoyable, and I just feel, I don't know, the characters were just really sweet and really well suited, and I really loved them. The quote that I wanted to read you, by the way, also just bear in mind he is a very golden retriever, okay? Like, he is super duper golden retriever kind of guy, and he said, "Oh, it's loud all right, but it's right, how it should be, like fireworks. When you're staring up at the sky watching them light up the night, all sparkle and glitter, there's nothing else that should follow that beauty but an epic boom. That's what your laugh feels like it should be, as loud as it is pretty." Honestly, when I was reading that, I was literally doing this. I was just giggling to myself like, I cannot believe these words have come out of your mouth. Like, I died. And honestly, he's really awkward as well, and he's not very good at speaking. Like, he finds like finding the right words hard, if that makes sense. So when he said that, I was on the floor screaming, crying, throwing up. Anyway, I gave it a 3-star. It was beautiful. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend. But yeah, it was just really good. To be honest, I'd probably give it like a 3.75 if I did do those kind of like ratings, but I do stick to whole numbers, don't know why, just always have. So I gave it a 3. And it was really cute, so I'd highly recommend. So the next book I read in the month of February was actually Beautiful Graves by LJ Shen. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, you guys know, if you've seen me before and you've seen the books in the background, I have a lot of LJ Shen books. Now, I have actually read 3 of them. I know it's awful, okay, and I will still always pre-order her books. I don't know why, I just do. Anyway, the Dark Prince Road series, I absolutely loved it, okay? Some of them 5-star reads, thoroughly enjoyable. This was actually mine and Kelsey's book club pick. It got chosen. I was very excited because, as you can tell, this is an indie published copy. I've had this on my shelf for a very long time, and I didn't really know much about what this was about. Now, this was an absolute whirlwind of what the fuck is going on. Like, I was reading this book and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. Would you like me to read you my notes? I'm gonna read you my notes because I feel like I have to. So this one basically says, it's about Evelyn. Chapter 3, what the hell was that sex scene? How is she so obsessed with him after knowing him for what feels like 5 seconds? And then all of a sudden they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I was like, okay, strange. Then it's 6 years later, all of a sudden, okay? And then she's with someone else and it turns out that that's actually his brother. So like, right. Let me start again. This is not explaining the story well. So this is about a girl called Evelyn, okay? And she basically ends up losing her virginity to somebody on the beach, this random guy, okay, and they're like boyfriend and girlfriend, and all of a sudden there's like a split situation, like they have to go apart for some reason, can't remember. Anyway, 6 years later she's going out with a guy called Dom, and Dom's brother turns out to be the guy that she lost her virginity to like years and years ago, like her first love, and it's all a bit up in the air. Then, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear anything about this book, skip forward please, because I'm going to tell you the biggest plot twist in this book, so please skip forward. I'm gonna wait. I'm hoping you've gone. Okay, so plot twist, her current boyfriend Dom died. He just died. Like, all of a sudden, gone. Okay, then Evelyn has the audacity to sleep with his brother the night of his funeral. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand grief. Like, I get it. Okay, but that threw me sideways. I was just reading it like I don't know what she's doing. Like, I was just so confused. I felt so bad for the book club girlies because I was like, babes, we're reading like the most bizarre book I've ever read in my life. I give it a 2-star. That is a very generous score, I feel, because I feel like I don't want to say LJ Shen's writing is not good, okay? These books, like My Dark Desire, My Dark Prince, I can't even speak and get blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? They're very good books, okay? Like, very good books. This, not my favourite. So, yeah, 2. Basically. Do I have any idea about what this book was about? No, I still don't, honestly. After I read that absolute monstrosity of a book, I decided to pick up a Freedom McFadden book. This one is Dear Debbie, and this one I honestly had no real idea about what to expect. I mean, I assumed it was going to be like an advice column, like Dear Debbie, Dear, what was it, Dear Aunt. What was the advice columns you used to get, like Dear Agony Aunt? Was that what it was? Anyway, Dear Debbie, that's kind of what I was assuming, and it is kind of about that. So you basically have Debbie who is working on a column in a newspaper kind of thing, so she has her own like advice column, but her answers to some of the advice columns are very rogue and very worrying, I suppose. Like, for example, there was one about, it said like, Dear Debbie, I need help, like my husband snores and I don't know what to do, blah blah blah, and her responses are always along the lines of like, oh, it's completely normal if someone's snoring, like try this remedy, try doing this, try doing that, but when all else fails, if it doesn't work, I usually find holding a pillow over someone's face for 4 to 5 minutes really useful, something like that. And you're just like, okay, so she's like absolutely crazy. Like, is that what I'm getting? But I was reading it and I had no idea where the story was going or what to expect with the story. I was just finding it really just hard to understand who was going to be in the wrong, if you know what I mean. But I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I don't want to tell you guys too much more about it because I feel like going into all of her books blind are the best thing, and I just find it so fun and different, and I don't know what to expect, you know what I mean? But yeah, this one was a 4-star read. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend. So really good. The next book is Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Now this one is technically 3 novellas in one. So you have Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero, all of which I gave a 3-star. I wouldn't rush to read these again. However, they were fun, they were quick. If you do need a little kind of quick, fast, like little novella to kind of either up your reading score, like, or you just want to read more books in the month, do you know what I mean? Like to make you feel a little bit better, like this was really good for that. I do have a brief kind of rundown about what each one was about on my phone. So we have got Under One Roof, which was about Liam and Mara, and basically a lady gives Mara a house in her will, and it turns out that Liam is her, I want to say, nephew, and he's currently living there, and it turns out that actually Liam owns half of it and Mara owns the other half, and Mara decides, well, I'm moving in because it's technically my house too and I want to live here, so they end up basically being under one roof. And that is the love story there. We also have Stuck With You. Now this one is about Sadie and Eric, and they basically both get stuck in this lift. I honestly can't really remember much about that one. I think that one was more of an enemies to lovers vibe, but again, it was sweet. I don't really remember too much about that one, to be honest. And lastly, we have got Below Zero. This one is about Hannah and Ian, and basically this one is to do with a NASA project situation where Hannah wants to go to, I want to say, Iceland or Antarctica or somewhere very cold. She ends up speaking with Ian about it, and then Ian's like, oh, you shouldn't do it, like it's not gonna work, and she kind of takes that as he doesn't believe in her scientific abilities, if you know what I mean, but actually it's because he knows that it's not a safe situation, and it turns out that she gets stuck there and he basically rescues her. It's a sweet story. Again, it was a 3-star read. I don't really feel like any of these are going to stick with me, but I feel like they were really fun and just a really good break from like the longer books, do you know what I mean? The next book was In the Veins of the Drowning by Kaylee Cassidy. Rhapsody. Now this one, I'm not gonna lie, I did listen to this one on audiobook and I did find myself getting slightly somewhat confused whilst I was listening to it. Like I think I was listening to it and maybe doing too much else at the same time, to the point where I had like no idea what was going on throughout some of the book, which is a little bit of a shame, especially because I've heard so many good things about this book. I gave this one a 3-star, and it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I think it is, as I said, because I did get a little bit lost somewhat in the middle of the story. But this one basically focuses on a girl called Imogen and a guy called, I want to say his name was Theo. Let me check. Yes, so Imogen and Theo. This basically focuses on blood bonds, it focuses on accidental marriage, it also focuses on sirens. It's a fantasy story, but honestly I have no real other idea of what happened in this book. It has gone from my brain, which is a shame. I think I'm gonna have to do a reread, because I remember like reading it and actually like when I was listening to it, like bits of it I was finding it so interesting, and then 10 minutes later I'd be listening to it like I've missed something, like something has completely gone from my brain. So I think need to reread this one. But this one again was a 3-star read. It was very good, but I just don't really remember an awful lot about it, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, the next book, if I talk about it for too long I fear I might cry, because this book, I have never felt this way about a book in my whole life, and that is saying something, because I have cried through a few books at this point in my life. However, this book I honestly want to cry. Like, it was so good, and that is Hatrick by Chelsea Curto. This series in general, 5-star series. This book, 5-star book. It was so good. Now look at the cover for a minute, really look at it, and then I'm going to tell you what this book is about. Okay, so have a look at the cover, really take it in. Okay, so you've got a guy, you've got a girl, really look at this cover. Now I'm going to tell you what this book is about. It is on the cover. However, for some reason, for the life of me, I didn't notice it, okay? Now, I was reading this book and I was like, it's about Riley. Now, Riley, golden retriever, sweetest guy ever. You meet him from book 1. He is so adorable. I just love him. He has a crush on Lexi. Now, Lexi is their sports therapist, and basically her job is to look after all of the hockey guys. Now, he has had a crush on Lexi for the longest time, and I honestly, I'm gonna start crying thinking about it. Lexi and Riley, oh my god, I need to get my words together. What am I trying to say to you guys? Okay, so Riley has a crush on Lexi for a very long time. Lexi just sleeps with a few people. She's not really into relationships, but Riley always has like that soft spot. Do you know what I mean? Riley is then in a car accident. Okay, now I did not see that coming, despite the cover. Look at it again. Now, you might notice something here around this region, okay? I did not notice this. Riley, spoiler alert if you don't want to know any spoilers, skip ahead. Riley loses his leg in the accident, okay? Now, I was in tears, and then I looked at the cover and I was like, it's on the front cover. I just didn't see it coming. Like, I had no idea. Like, literally no idea. I'm like looking at it, looking at the leg, I didn't see it coming. So there I was sobbing into my pages, like absolutely shocked at the point that like everyone's heartbroken because Riley's in hospital. And the fact is that when he was in the hospital, they didn't think he was going to make it. So I was like sobbing my eyes out. Anyway, basic gist of this story, if you guys don't know, Riley basically loses his leg and Lexi is like, well, I'm adamant to make you learn to skate again. He is obviously in such a dark place. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not ever leaving my house ever again. Like, I'm miserable. I've only ever done hockey. Like, I don't want to do anything else, which obviously rightfully so. He's very upset. But she's like, no, I'm gonna make you do this, like you're gonna be fine. Anyway, they basically have the most beautiful like friendship turn romance, and it's just insane. Like, I don't want to tell you much more about it, but this series, guys, I cannot for the life of me beg you to read this series any more than I am now, because I'm reading Sin Bin at the moment, which is book 5 until the next 2 books come out. I honestly, I don't want it to finish. Like, I don't want to end this series because it makes me honestly sob my eyes out. Even though it's spicy, like the spice is spicing, okay? But the family feels in this series is next level. It's so good. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish it. Like, that is how I feel about it. And also, it is being traditionally published, which is very exciting. Am I going to have to buy the traditionally published versions? Probably, because the covers are going to be different, and I just love this series. Honestly, I think it's my favourite series of all time. I truly do, even though I absolutely love like Akatar and Paulus and all that kind of stuff. This, so good. Please read it. 5 stars, incredible. The next book I picked up in the month of February was Tessa Bailey's Catch Her If You Can. The main reason I picked this one up, to be honest, was the fact that this one completes a series, so I feel like it kind of got another one off my list, if you know what I mean. This one focuses on Eve Madden. Now, basically this one is a friends to lovers, old friends to marriage of convenience. to lovers. It was an okay read, I'm not gonna lie. I gave it a 2-star, which seems a bit harsh looking back. I feel like I finished this book and I was like, I didn't like it, I'm gonna give it a 2-star, but it wasn't my favorite. Like, some of the books in this series have been quite enjoyable. I think I've even given one like a 4-star. Like, I really did enjoy it. This one, for some reason, it just didn't grip me enough. I feel like when I was reading it, I just wasn't excited to read it. I didn't feel that urge to keep going on. Do you know what I mean? Whereas things like Hatrick, for example, I can't put it down. Very different. Especially when that one is like a 500+ page book and this one is just over 300. I feel like that really shows you the difference. I don't know, it just wasn't my fave. I don't really know much about what else this was about, to be honest with you, but it was a fake like marriage of convenience situation. That's all I know, honestly. And the last book I read in the month of February was actually my book club pick of the month. If you guys haven't joined either of my book clubs, I will leave them both down below. They are both completely free, so feel free to come over and join. But the book that we picked for the month of February was If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. Now, I know what you're saying and I know what you're screaming, Melody, this is such an autumnal book. Like, why are you reading it in the month of February? I honestly don't know. I just had the urge to read it. There is something in my eyeball currently. Did I get it? No idea. Anyway, I just had the urge to read it, okay? The cover is giving autumnal. If I could go back and read this in like October time, not gonna lie, absolutely would. This was, though, phenomenal. This was so good. Now, going into it, I didn't have like insane high hopes. I don't know why. I feel like because it was a new author, I just didn't really know what to expect. But look at the cover. If that doesn't scream Gilmore Girls vibes, I don't know what will. But this one was actually just so good. It was so good. So this one basically focuses on a girl called Michelle. Now, Michelle's mum passes away right at the beginning of the book, and basically in her will she leaves her in to Michelle's sister. However, Michelle's sister is still currently at school, so Michelle basically says, look, I'll go and run the inn for like 3 months and then you can come and move to this small town. I've got something in my eye. I think I got it. Honestly, I feel like I'm blind. Anyway, yeah, she basically says like, you can come and move to this small town in 3 months and I'll go back to my big job in Seattle where I basically live at the moment, that kind of thing. And that's basically the plan. However, when she gets there, she is struggling because not only is this inn like a lot of work, but also she doesn't really know anybody. And in this small town, picture Gilmore Girls, picture Stars Hollow, everybody knows everybody, everybody helps everybody, and in comes Cliff, the really hot single dad next door. He's so cute, he's so kind. The spice was really good as well because it was very like subtle. It was a subtle spice, but there is a bit of spice in this, just so you know. Oh, it was just so good. Honestly, I was crying at the end, crying tears. The dog had me in tears. The stuffed unicorn, if you know, you know. I was honestly tears streaming down my face. It was beautiful. It was such a beautiful small town cozy like book. I just can't, like, it was so good. And I don't want to spoil it because I feel like, again, I went into this blind, but on the front by B.K. Borison it says pure rom-com magic, and that is exactly what this book was. It was stunning. It was perfect. I loved all the characters. The kids in it were fantastic. Even like a few characters who you probably wouldn't like it was just perfect. It was really good, and it is based in the late 90s, which was just so nostalgic. It was stunning. And also, oh my gosh, also I'm gonna have to tell you, and if you don't want any spoilers, actually it's not gonna spoil it to be honest, but the epilogue is in the dog's point of view. I'm a dog person, okay, and I was reading it, and the way he was like describing the people, because he doesn't know their names, he just describes them as like my girl and like funny guy and little girl, and I'm like crying my eyes out because the dog was so cute throughout the whole thing. He was so cute, and there was a little sentence he said, oh my god, it made me honestly want to cry my eyes out even more. He said something along the lines of like, oh, I can't run anymore like as much as I used to, or something like that. Honestly, I cannot find where he said it, but anyway, basically he said something along the lines of something, oh, I can't run as much as I used to, so I do something else, something like that. And I was like, oh my god, the dog is old, and it was making me cry. It was beautiful. This book is a 5 out of 5. Please read this book. If it's autumn where you are, pick up this book, and if not, I mean, it didn't ruin it for me, to be honest with you. I absolutely loved it. Just insane, so good. So those are all of the books I read in the month of February. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you guys haven't already, because I would absolutely love to hit 13,000 subscribers this year. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I love you so incredibly much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.